Okay, so I'm going to go to quizzes. It's, again, not on a to-do list because it's a practice quiz. Go down to the bottom where it says practice quizzes, and it says today's date, N18, non-graded 2.2 warm-up and quiz practice. I'm going to click take the quiz. Today's warm-up is not timed, but realize that the quiz that you're going home with over the weekend will be timed. That timer's going to start, okay? Now, this first question is the question from the warm-up. So I'm going to show you two, because look what's happened. Hopefully you see it. The menu changed, right? The icons are different. You see that? It's a little bit different. So what I'm going to do for a question like this, and there's going to be 2 of these on your quiz on Monday, is I'm going to take this picture. I'm actually going to copy it, and I'm going to pull it into Notability. If you're using hard copy piece of paper, then you can try to duplicate it, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to duplicate it because it will make it easier for me to grade it if it's in the same format, okay? Obviously, the handwriting doesn't have to be exactly the same. So now this question says, determine the end behavior, find the zero, state the multiplicity, and determine if it touches or turns or crosses the x-axis, and then determine the y-intercept, okay? So I'm going to work through this one with you, but then I'm going to make you do the video by yourself, okay? So I'm going to I would have opened it in Notability, done it there, taken a picture, and uploaded it, but I'm going to do it in the video, so I'm going to do it and explain everything.
Are we getting the same question as you for the practice?
Yes. Yeah, everybody got the same for the practice. Come on, paste. There we go. Okay, so end behavior is the first question. Look at my function. Make sure it's in order of decreasing degree. It is. Highest exponent to the third. So 2x to the third is my leading coefficient and my highest exponent, right? That is an odd power and a positive number on the front, which means this falls left, rises right.
Ms. Kurzweiser?
Yeah.
Quick question. Do we have to be doing this on the video thing, or are we just doing
No, the video is the second question. So I want you to practice doing this in Notability so that you can practice the upload because the menu's different now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, B says find the zero, state the multiplicity, and determine if it touches and turns or crosses the x-axis. So I'm going to say 0 equals 2x to the third minus 4x squared minus 16x. Take out a 2x, make your life easier. X squared minus 4x minus 8. Factors of negative 8. Wait, this should be a 2. Factors of negative 8 that sum to negative 2. X minus 4, x plus 2. Solve them. I get 0 because this equals 0. Divide by 2, it's 0. I get 4, and I get negative 2. None of them repeat, so the multiplicity on each of these is 1. I'm going to put them in order of least to greatest, so negative 2, 0, and 4. Go right on that line. If there was a multiplicity, I would put it next to it and circle it. If it's 1, you don't need it because it's implied. But if it was 2, you need it. Okay, which means these cross through. If there was a multiplicity of 2, that one would bounce. You'll just put it next to the number. Bounces, crosses through.
Ms. Kurzweiser?
Mm-hmm.
Should I be in the test right now, or am I just doing some Notability?
No, you could be in Notability. Yeah. You're just going to practice the upload today of this and the video.
I just start the test like right now.
The practice, you can, but you don't need to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no time limit on the practice, and you can do it more than once. It's just for practice. And then C says determine the y-intercept. So I would get 0... y equals 2 times 0 to the third minus 4 times 0 squared minus 16 times 0. And my y-intercept, which goes in coordinate point form, is 0, 0. Now I go to my graph. I plot my zeros, negative 2, 0, 4. It falls left, rises right, and it crosses through each of these points. So it's going to do something like that, but I need to know how high and low those go, so I have to plug in some additional points. I'm going to plug in negative 1. It's not symmetric to the y-axis, right? If I plug in negative x here, only goes back on the squared, not the other two. So it's not symmetric to the y-axis, which makes sense because one arrow is pointing down, one's up. So I'm going to plug in negative 1. 2 times negative 1 to the third minus 4, negative 1 squared, minus 16, negative 1. And I get a positive 10, which means I'm going way up. Maybe make them go by 2s. I don't care as long as you're consistent. There's my point. If it goes way off your graph, remember I said just label it. Okay, you don't have to go up to things like 30 or 40. I just know it has to go up. Then I'm going to plug in a point in between. Do this in a different color. 0 and 4. So I'm going to plug in 2. 2 times 2 to the third. Yeah.
Would the coordinate for 210 be negative 110?
Yes, thank you. Negative 110. Negative 4 times 2 squared minus 6 times 2. These are gone, and it's negative 32. So again, way off my graph. Oh, and it needs to be rounded. Now I'm going to screenshot my answer because this is a picture upload question. This is what you're doing in class on Monday, not the review over the weekend, okay? I should probably switch these questions, but just so you can get an idea. Then I'm going to go back to my quiz. And again, notice that the little rich content editor is different. The moon and stars is not there. It's hidden in the 3 dots. If you were to expand your view, hopefully you see it, but if not, you have to hit the 3 dots. And then you see a little moon and moon and mountains, and it says upload image from here. I click upload image again, and now I can go to my photo library. So it's a little different. I don't have to click on Canvas. I don't have to click on my files. It goes there, scroll down, and click. It's hidden by my student view, but it says upload.
Ms. Christopher?
Yes.
What do we do if we can't fit everything on one screenshot?
So try to circle it and shrink it.
Okay.
The idea, Sai, so that you know on Monday, is I want it to be this filled out, right? So I want you to take that image and put it in Notability and write on top of it, and then screenshot it so it should be one image, and then bring it back.
Yeah, but in terms of working out.
All the work, so the answers have to at least be in this screenshot, but the work is also going to get submitted at the end. So if you go over the work, it's going to get submitted to the question at the end. For this question, I expect to see A, B, and C filled out and the graph. You can have work, but if it doesn't all fit, then that's going to go at the end. Does that make sense? Okay, good question.
Yeah.
All right, second question on the practice is that video. I'm going to literally give you 6 minutes to go and finish this on a video. It's practice, folks. So if it's wrong, I don't care. Just practice the process of recording yourself in either EduCreations or Doceri. You have 5 minutes now. I'll give you 6. 6 minutes. Go. I'm going to choose my file. I'm going to go to my photo library because that's where my video is saved. And here's my video. Done. Use. It's compressing the video so it takes a moment. And there's my video. I'm done. I hit submit quiz. So just the question for the video is the homework over the weekend. That part you're doing on your own, right? 45 minutes from start to finish. The other one, the picture one, you're going to have 2 questions like that on your quiz where you have to upload a picture, so I wanted to practice that. One is a quadratic that you're going to have to find the intercepts, the vertex, and then graph. The other is the higher exponent like we just did, the higher degree. And then you've got questions on, just a second, Sai. You've got questions on the inverse, right? Because it's 1/6. The inverse, identifying if it has an inverse, if it's 1-to-1. Then 2-1 was all the quadratic stuff. So max, min, vertex, intercepts, graphing, your parabola, and obviously the complete the squares, the video part. And then 2-2 was end behavior, zeros with multiplicity, and then graphing, okay, all that stuff. There is a quiz review. Let me make sure I publish it actually now that I'm thinking of it. There's a quiz review on Canvas with the answers. So you kind of have 2 homework assignments from me this weekend. One is the video itself. The other is your quiz review. Go ahead, Sai.
So I'm in Educations and I finished recording. What do I do from there?
You have to hit the arrow back on the top left.
Okay, and I didn't get to finish the graphing part because...
It's just practice, so don't stress about it, right? Wait, the graphing on the video you didn't have to do. The video was just a practice, the other one. Not that it matters. Again, it's just practice. Just practice.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then you're going to go to Edu Creations. You're here. Then you should be looking at this screen, right? Because you have to save finish video in order to save it to your camera roll. If it's a draft, it won't save yet. Then go select, tap the thumbnail of your video, hit the square with the arrow up, and then save your video, and it will save to your camera roll. And then go to Canvas and do the file upload. Remember, if something glitches on the app, that you can always open the same quiz from Safari as long as you haven't hit submit. And Safari tends to be a little bit more reliable. So if you're an app person and you really want to do it, go for it. But if you are flexible enough to try the web, you may want to start using the web more. Questions?
Miss Chris Weiser?
Yes.
Can you go over how to submit from the other app again?
Doseri?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, hang tight. Let me just show the quiz review and let everybody go, and then I'll go back over that again, okay? It's already there. On your to-do list now, okay? But also on the module should be your quiz review. This is underneath quiz and review. I'm in chapter 1. That's not where I want to be. Here. Under quiz and review, it says the quiz review. It's non-graded because I posted the answers, okay? Here's your quiz review. It's going to take you through a couple of practices of your complete the square. That's 1 and 2. Then 3 and 4 are you now have an option. Do you want to do negative b over 2a or do you want to force complete the square? You're going to have the same option on the quiz. Obviously, if there's a number on the front, I would say negative b over 2a is going to be the faster method. You're going to find the vertex. You're going to find the axis symmetry. You're going to find the x and y intercepts by factoring for the x-intercepts, y-intercepts plugging in 0. Find the domain and range of this function, okay? And then max and min. Those are there. 5 is the one where we reverse it. I'm going to give you the vertex and the point. You're going to give me the equation. So you plug those in for hk, x, y, plug it in. And then 6 and 7 is what we just did with 2-2. The end behavior, the zeros, and all that good stuff. Okay? Then the last page is your inverse functions. So identify if there's an inverse. Make sure you review that. So how do I know if it's an inverse? Remember that there's 3 tests. So that's not on the problems, but you definitely need to review that. Let me zoom this out. Is there an inverse? Okay. And it's a yes as long, or I would say it's a no. No if x is an absolute value or x is raised to an even power. And no if it fails the horizontal line test. Okay, and then like this one, you've got to know how to actually find the inverse. So both of those, that and the video, you need to do over the weekend. If you are totally fine with complete the square, you don't have to do number 1 and 2 on the quiz review. It's just for practice, okay? So the quiz itself on Monday will start after the complete the square. Any questions for me before I send you on your way? Obviously, I'll go back to Doseri. And for the warm-up, it was x plus 1 squared and x minus 3 cubed. This has a 0 of -1. This has a 0 of 3. The multiplicity on the first one is 2. The multiplicity on the second one is 3. That was number 2. I think the signs are right. That's what number 2 was. So you just didn't have to factor it that time. All right, people. Peace out. Have a great weekend. So on Canvas, oh, let me go back.